All right, welcome everybody to another IGC presents Sorcerers of Rhand, Edge of the Empire edition. We're coming off about a 2 or 3 week break here because of the holidays. So let's start with a little bit of recap here. In the last session, our characters had a close encounter with Jet Nova and his gang. They were able to kind of send him snaking away into the night. They blasted off for a little bit of safety at the smuggler's moon of Nar Shaddaa. There they were able to lick a little bit of their wounds, collect some scraps of junk to hopefully erect a medical droid to assist them. They had also run into an old, would we say friend? Maybe. We'll see. In a Jek Tar bar, a gangster by the name of Jarek. He kind of reluctantly agreed to assist the party, you know, if they scratch his back. He has a little bit of a mission for our players to carry some goods. He said that all of the information should be waiting for the players once they arrive back at the ship. So let's take care of a few mechanical things. Let's roll our dice pool, our force dice. Starting off good. Yeah.
Oh Lord, there's a white point.
I know, right? Hey, that's pretty good for you guys.
And no double darks. That's nice.
All right, so you guys get that bonus light for doing the recap on our Gilded page. So the next thing that we need to do is obligations. Let's go ahead and add up everything that we have, and then we'll make a roll.
Wait, I have 2 5s. Yeah.
Fair enough. We'll split it if it hits you. And the dice say, ooh, did roll doubles there, but doesn't look like anybody's obligation is going to come into play. All right, so when we last left off, one of your characters, Fezzik, was conversating, I guess, with one of his various lovers across the galaxy. But did you guys make your way back to the ship?
Yeah, I would say so.
All right. You arrive back at your ship. You don't notice any ne'er-do-wells, so to speak, hanging around the corner. Doesn't look like Jet Nova has tracked you here. You do see a few people just finishing up. They're bringing a repulsor lift out of your craft. One of the humans will kind of walk up to the group. Boss had us all throw everything in there. He said to hand you this. And he gives you guys a data card.
I'll take it and give him a clap on the shoulder.
He kind of shrugs it off quickly. Just don't be screwing up. I don't want to be coming after you.
I don't want to have to see you any sooner than I have to.
He gathers his friend, and they push the repulsor craft out. As you guys enter the ship, you guys are greeted with an assortment of crates. They just pretty much dumped it all right there.
I'll get to work organizing all this.
Okay. How do you plan to organize it? You going to try to hide it anywhere? Just stick it in the cargo bay? What's the plan?
I don't think we have any, like, hidden compartments that I'm aware of anyway.
Don't believe so. If you do, they are hidden from even you guys.
I suppose I'll try to I'll put them in the cargo bay, but kind of tuck them away behind where we have like our food stores and things like that.
Okay, trying to lightly kind of obfuscate them a little bit. Since you're doing that, let's do a little bit of rolling here. Skullduggery, I think, would be appropriate.
Okay. And what's the difficulty?
We're going to set it at an average difficulty of 2.
Not bad.
All right, great success. It's a little strenuous kind of moving these crates around, just organizing it just so. So go ahead and take a couple points of threat there. Of strain, rather.
Okay.
All right, what are the others doing?
I still have my wound, right?
You are still injured, yes.
We need to get our medical droid on that eventually.
Yep, just needs a little bit of TLC.
G was already on the ship waiting for us, wasn't he?
Yeah, I didn't go with you guys.
Oh, fair enough. So G, I guess it would have been a bit of a spectacle. Did you guys calm him at all?
Are we just, I'm assuming, just discovering him?
I had forgotten just because of how long it's been since we played. So whether or not you calmed him. Well, let's do this.
You don't know the power
G,
of the
just kind
dark
of
side.
for a little bit of flavor, as you're kind of just there, these guys just start barging in. They've got work orders and they've got some sort of shipment. They didn't know where to put it, so they just kind of threw everything right there. Perhaps the party has some explaining to do when they get back.
Both sides have some explaining to do.
Right. All right, so Fezzik is busy putting away all the supplies. Arden, it sounded like you were going to go lie down a bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go let everybody else handle this.
So,
Alright.
I guess Phi will have just kind of poked his head around the ship trying to find that good-for-nothing Jedi.
All right, G, what are you doing?
I'd probably be in like our medical bay area, just kind of like relaxing, and I would have moved like the artifact out of sight from when the people were moving in to drop off the cargo.
All right. Phi walks in. We'll just say that he's got the data card in his hand. You guys lock eyes.
Had a good siesta?
It was quite enlightening, you could say.
Nice pun.
Oh no.
A dark side point gets added for that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just cruel.
Well, luckily for you, we made some good progress while we were out. We got a potential lead on the station.
That's good. I found a secret input panel on the artifact. I'll explain more once we jump ship.
Oh, I
Jump ship
Be-
or abandoning ship.
I mean, get into space.
All right, sounds like a plan. So everybody goes to set and doing their various tasks. Fezzik finishes up. Everybody kind of congregates in the central area. You guys still don't know where to deliver the cargo.
Was it Fezzik? Did you have the reader for these data cards?
We've probably got equipment on the ship. I doubt we need my specific data pad.
That's correct. You could use the ship.
Just gotta patch it through our firewall.
Yeah, actually, let me use my slicer gear and just give it a quick scan over to make sure it's not going to like input tracking data or viruses or anything like that if we plug it into the computer.
All right, good call. Go ahead and do a computer use. Apply any skills that you have. Difficulty on this is going to be 3.
Okay. Just check if I do have anything real quick.
I imagine if you have the kit, it'll give you at least 1 boost die.
It doesn't mention it, but I'll take it if you'll let me have it.
We'll go ahead.
Okay.
All right, so Fezzik kind of examines it over. He doesn't find what he's looking for. It is encrypted very well. Not sure or not if it's booby trapped, but advantage. The next time that you kind of deal with this, you'll learn a little bit more. If you want to write it down on your sheet, the next time you try to slice into a data card, you'll get an additional boost die.
Okay.
Whenever that comes up.
How's it look, Fez?
Looks clean to me. At least I wasn't able to crack into it, so it's hard to tell, but no obvious signs of subterfuge.
Well, we don't have much of a choice if we need to figure out where we're going, so I guess I'll just plug it in.
All right, you plug that bad dude into the computer, and up pops a little bit of a silhouette. Looks like a small moon. Xantiv 4. Judging by the astrogation data included, doesn't look like it's too far of a jump. So, you guys ready to set sail?
Sounds good to me.
All right, so you guys clear everything with the dock. Get ready to leave space, exit Atmo, and you are in space outside of Nar Shaddaa. However, as you're kind of moving up into cruising speed, before you can plot your jump, somebody chimes through on the comm.
Phoenix Dawn. We believe you are carrying contraband. Power down your ship.
Seems to be coming from one of the Imperial Star Destroyers.
We got this. We can take them.
Right. Fi will get on the ship's intercom thing, and he'll like say, "Hey guys, we might have a problem. We're being hailed by the Imperials."
Phoenix Dawn, this is your last warning. Power down your ship.
I'll be slowing down the ship and coming towards stationaries, but waiting for people to respond.
Your party to respond?
Yeah.
All right, what do you guys do?
I am going to start cracking open those crates that we got, and I'm going to start moving stuff around so that our food stores are on top of them, so that like if they open one up, they'll see a bunch of food and stuff like that on top rather than the contraband itself.
Okay. Arden, you snap up out of bed with the comm. G, whatever you were doing. Do you guys want to reply?
I think Arden would get up and try to go forward and see what all the fuss is about there.
Okay. As you... Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
Okay.
As you guys are kind of moving about the ship, you hear the zips of TIE fighters kind of skimming pretty close to your guys' vessel.
Well, I'm complying for now, I guess, because I haven't really heard anything to the contrary.
All right. So, maybe 3-4 minutes later, you can constantly hear the ties buzzing around, kind of creating a small perimeter. Another ship kind of pulls up and docks with you. The sound of the hatch as it opens. You will see one Imperial officer, followed by two bucket heads. They're in white. Who's the captain of the ship?
That would be me you're looking for, Virus?
Of course. Let me see your cargo manifest.
Right this way, we just keep it down the hall here. Now I'll lead him towards the bay.
All right. And you do produce a manifest. Obviously, it doesn't have all the contraband on it.
Right.
I see. Yeah, closer inspection of the goods as he kind of waves the soldiers around. Their blaster rifles are not exactly at the ready, but they're still slung at their sides as they move around and start investigating the crates there.
I'm just keeping my hand on my cryoband projector.
After a few moments, the soldiers are kind of looking around. Fi, make me a vigilance check, difficulty 3.
And can I use a light point to upgrade it one?
May the force be with us.
You absolutely can.
That's right.
Look at your pool here. I actually don't have it loaded. 1 second. Yes, that looks correct. Success. I imagine your character's maybe a little sweating. You're doing your best to kind of keep it from visibly showing. The officer kind of keeps looking over at you, over at the troops, over at the other individuals. A few moments are going to go by.
Looks like everything's clean, sir.
I see. Perhaps the report was incorrect. Phoenix Dawn, we will be watching you. Good day.
Good day to you as well.
All right. They exit the ship. The ties kind of hang around just to buzz you a few more times to add a little bit of Imperial pressure. But it looks like the party escaped this potentially dangerous scenario. Good job. At this point, you guys can punch in the coordinates and hop over to the moon.
And if
Did
they're
you change
still
your pants
suspicious
there,
of
Fi?
us,
What was that, Rainbow?
Sorry. I said you can go change your pants if you need to.
Right? Yeah, things could have turned south very quickly. Obviously, they wouldn't have fired while you were on board, but wouldn't have been anything for that Imperial Star Destroyer to make its presence known and felt. All right, you guys
if they're
arrive.
still suspicious of us, I suggest we punch our coordinates into someplace else first and take a more roundabout approach so they don't follow us straight there.
That's not bad thinking. When I do the calculations, I'll try and see what kind of circuitous route I could.
All right, sounds good. Let's make an astrogate check. We are going to bump up the difficulty by 1. So let's increase. Let's do 2 purple, 1 red.
I'll provide assistance on that.
Do 1 purple, 1 red. Sorry. And the astromech is going to assist, so add a boost die. Yeah, sorry about that.
All right. So like that's right.
That is correct. All right.
Oh, hold on. I'll use my second chances feat, which lets me reroll the one die per scene, and I'll reroll that.
Okay. Nice. So success as you kind of look at what's around there. You're able to navigate a very good course, kind of looping around, leading anybody off who may be trying to track you guys. And let's see, if you have any strain, you can recover one if you need.
I'm clean.
Yep,
for
you're
now.
clean. All right, so the roundabout way, you're pretty sure that nobody has followed you here. You arrive at the moon. It's very small. There seems to be only one sort of settlement or so here. Looks like it was an old converted station. Lights seem to be on, and you can see one craft that has been docked.
So the instructions you were given didn't say specifically who we're trying to bring this to.
They did not. Maybe Jarek's up to his old tricks, or seeing how good you are. Or perhaps he just doesn't trust you.
Can I try to scan that docked vessel and see if we can glean any more information about it?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do an average difficulty. There is going to be one setback die. Computer use.
Okay. Let me just double check something real quick. Okay, no, reworks on system strain. Never mind.
All right. 2 successes. All right, so you're going to be able to scan, and here's what you're going to glean. There are 4 life forms inside, various droids, life support, basic power generator, nothing too extravagant. Ship is basically just a freighter style. We'll just say it's something similar to like a YT. And
looks like it's just a basic freighter with some with 4 people on board, a bunch of droids, but other than that, nothing standard.
All right. Do you guys want to move in?
I say, well, we don't have a whole lot of information to go on, so let's just try and trust our guts on this, guys. If we get to feeling like there's any danger, you know what to do, right?
Maybe one of us should stay on the ship and be ready in case we need to call in some heavy ordnance, so to speak.
Yeah, it's a possibility if anyone's not feeling super up to putting themselves out.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to hanging out back here.
Would Arden have had like a chance to do a recovery check while on the drive over?
So while you guys were flying, we'll consider that a day's rest. So that should be all strain back and what was that, half wounds, I believe. I'll try to find the book. For now, just everybody recover all their strain and half your wounds.
Round up or down?
Round up. Always in player favor. All right, so it sounds like you guys are gonna kind of set down.
Yes, sir.
All right, you guys set down your ship. Several minutes are going to go by. Are they going to calm us first? Should we calm them? Not quite sure. Another minute goes by. Get your comms flip on. Fancy ship you got there.
It's not the prettiest thing in the galaxy, but it served us all right so far.
I see. Did you bring the goods?
Well, I mean, I'm on board, but is that what you're asking about?
No, that is not what I'm asking about.
Okay, so you mean me?
No.
What the hell are you talking about?
You're the friends of Jarek, I'm assuming?
Long silence. Yeah, something like that. How you want to do this? You bring the crates outside or we come to you?
Why don't you send someone out? We'll meet on the pad together, and we'll see if you want to come inside and look at the cargo.
Oh, a little one-on-one, eh? All right. You kind of hear him yell across the ship. Krasik, get out there. We'll send somebody over to negotiate.
Sounds good.
All right. A few more minutes later, the port underneath their ship will open, and a large suited individual will start kind of walking up. Seems they have, it's like a zero-G suit, and it looks like they have kind of metal clamped boots as well, as it kind of sticks as he's walking over. Who's going out to meet him?
I nominate Arden.
Alright. I guess I'll go out and put on a pretty face.
All right. So as you suit up, exit the craft, you can see that this person is a good head and a half taller than you. It's hard to see through the visor of their mask. They just stand there kind of half tilted on their hips. You can see at their side they are carrying a heavy blaster rifle, and strapped along their back you can see what looks like a vibroblade.
Well,
They just stand there. You can just feel their eyes coming through the visor looking at you.
it's not super polite not to introduce yourself, you know?
I don't need to introduce myself.
Okay, alright. Just make it nice.
The captain said we're to negotiate. You can hear kind of that lizard tongue.
You cut off, I'm sorry.
You can kind of hear that lizardy tongue coming through the vocoder of his spacesuit.
Okay. Let me, Did y'all want me to start bringing stuff out, or?
That's one way we can do it. How many crates?
Well, how many were we given?
We didn't say a number. I'm just curious what she's gonna say.
Too many for a lady to carry.
He kind of looks over you, takes a step forward. You're no lady.
by some standards, but close enough.
So, if there are too many, do we come aboard? He takes another step forward. We don't have all day.
Usually when I have men come aboard, I charge them for that, you know.
He says, "Is that so?" Takes another step forward. He's about close range to you now. And how much would this be?
Well, depends on what you want. We can negotiate a little bit.
He takes another step forward. I have quite the many credit to spend. I need you at this point to make me, let's see, your choice of either discipline or cool.
I just chucked that down.
Yes, there are no difficulty dice.
Jeez.
It's a cool customer.
Oh, he's so bad. You instantly realize the gambit that he's been playing as he is in very short range of you. You realize he's going to attack. Let's roll initiatives, but you can roll cool because you succeeded on that check. I got one success.
Is that right?
I don't see anything in your dice pool. Or did you already roll?
I just rolled cool. With the... Oh gosh.
You didn't roll it again?
Yeah, I don't see it.
It rolled on my screen. There we go.
All right, so you will have the initiative. He is in close range to you. You could try to make it back to your ship. You could fight him. Let's do this. Everybody on board that is not participating, you guys can make me a perception check. Difficulty 2.
I'm really good at perception, guys.
Okay, you guys
We're
don't.
all oblivious.
Yeah, you don't notice it here. You guys were kind of doing your whatever. Arden's got this. It's no problem. Arden, you don't know that they aren't watching you per se. That's pretty shitty on their part.
There
But-
is a piece of fine ass outside the window and y'all ain't paying attention.
It's covered in a
What's
suit.
wrong with you? And?
Fair enough. What would you like to do? You have initiative.
I'm gonna go ahead and say she'll try and back up onto the that has much more defense, I guess, than she would. Safer for her, I think.
Okay, so you can use your maneuver back to the ship, an action to open the doorway there. He's gonna go. he does have those magnetic boots. So he is going to spend a maneuver to get back into close range. And then he is going to spend strain to move into engaged distance. And he is going to just try to grab you. So let's do this.
So we're in short range or engaged?
Engaged. So essentially,
Okay.
you kind of hustled back to the ship. You hit that button like, come on, open, 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 as he just bolts his way over to you. His big arms come out, and he's trying to just bear hug you. Oh, lots of success there. He grabs you and just squeezes you tight. You're going to take 7 points of wounds minus your soak. At this point, I would like the other player characters to roll initiative, and it's going to be vigilance. So I have 1 and 3 advantages, so I beat... So he will go second in the round. All right. So over the comm, you guys, I imagine, hear Arden kind of gasp and scream for a second. Initiative will be player character slot, NPC, 3 player character slots. Top of the order.
So did the door open all the way?
The door is open, but she's grappled at the moment.
Well, which one of us would be closest to the door?
We're just going to say for simplicity, equidistant.
Just out of curiosity, not to go first. Can I, like, duck, or how would I ungrapple him?
So I would think you have a few different options. He is rooted to the ground because of his magnetic boots. You could maybe try to use that to your advantage and just push off the ground and try to break away from him. You could try to brawn and shrug him off. You could try an agility type skill to kind of wiggle free. You could also try to just blaster shot him at a little bit of a disadvantage because you are grappled.
Okay. I'm
Yep.
just
Be
curious.
as creative as you want to be. And you also have light side points.
Well, if either Arden wants to go to try and get away, or maybe like G could rush out to be man mode, whichever you want.
I can go ahead.
Okay.
Arden will try and kind of duck out of his grasp, like just drop to the ground onto her knees and try to scramble away that way.
All right, so let's do... I would allow coordination. What else is agility based? That would be the best skill that I can think of as far as like trying to wiggle around.
Is that all I need? Is
Yep,
just coordination?
because you're grappled. Oh, I'll roll the other ones. Hold on.
Balls. Physic.
Couldn't help
All
it.
right. So 1 success. And you can recover a strain if you wish. Also, I did share the combat maneuvers that you guys can take as well. Or spending threats and advantages in combat. Go ahead and throw that up. It's a handy kind of like universal, oh, I can do this and this and this at any point when you get advantages and threats. So, Arden, you kind of use your nimbleness and the fact that he's kind of rooted to the ground to squirm your way out, kind of dropping down. His arms kind of collapse in on themselves. You still have a maneuver if you wish.
Maneuver is movement.
It is.
Okay, he's gonna... Is the door open yet?
Oh, yes.
Okay, he's gonna try to skedaddle and...
Okay, so you kind of push off the ground, launch yourself up into the craft. The door is still open, but as you kind of get in, and you will have to repressurize the room to get out of this area. Next is NPC slot. He kind of stumbles there for a second. Oh, no doubt. As he kind of pulls himself up through that kind of cubby hole, pulls himself out, and he is drawing his vibro sword. Player character slot. He will be considered close range to Arden.
Protector of the peace. Go protect some peace.
Yeah, let me try something. Can I use my force move ability and knock the vibro sword out of his hand?
Okay, so you'll spend a maneuver to get there and go ahead and use your skill. Is it like a force ability or?
Yeah, it's a force ability, so... how far away am I?
With your movement, you can get within close distance. If you need to be engaged, you could spend 2 strain to do an extra movement to engage.
It just says I need to be in short range.
Oh, good enough then.
Okay. So I just spend the force points, and it should work.
Okay. Is there a little card for it? Let's see.
Hang on, let me...
What is it called?
Force move.
All right, I pulled it up. Okay, so... So what you do with the force powers, you're going to need to roll your force die, and it needs to come up on a pip. There are blank sides. If it comes up dark, then you can spend a force point to change it to the light side to activate. Or you could suffer the dark side, and then it will move your morale down, I believe.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll that force die. All right. So again, the choice is yours. You can spend the force point to use the light side of the force, and it will activate, or you can draw on the dark side here and suffer a little bit of morale. It's not morale. It's morality.
Yeah. We'll use the light side that I just popped over.
No problem. So you kind of you're come in, you do that kind of telekinetic push that catches his hand. His blade kind of starts to dance in the air. It ricochets off the ceiling, off the wall, and is just kind of floating around now. Let's see. Unless you want to take another maneuver, it will be another PC turn.
My thought was, could I actually, like, throw it away from him?
Because of the 0 kind of G here, remember the door was not pressurized.
Right.
So, Phi and Fezzik, as you guys are kind of there, gravity shifts a little bit in the ship. Sensor warnings start to go off. And it's either of yours' turn.
Just Three Stooges style, like he'll just kind of look at Fez. Like, why do I get the feeling that that girl is more trouble than she's worth?
It's probably not her fault. I get the feeling these people aren't the ones we were originally sent to meet anyway, the way they reacted to his name.
I'll start the ship, you go kill them.
Actually, I was thinking of using the guns to take a couple of pot shots at their ship.
Yeah, do we did have to power off the ship, or do I need to
I
start it?
assume that you guys did not power off the ship, as theirs was not powered off.
Well, yeah, if you want to use the guns, sure, I'll get ready to skedaddle.
Sounds good to me.
All right, who wants to go first?
You can go ahead.
All right, so a maneuver to get yourself in the seat, ready to fire the guns. At this point, the ship is just going to automatically activate and close the open porthole. You guys will kind of sink down into your seats. Arden and G, you guys will kind of feel that shift. No necessarily bad effects are going to happen right now. But if you want to go ahead and use gunnery.
If I can, I don't know if you can aim while you're using ship guns.
Let's see. So under ship actions.
Yeah, you can aim.
Trying to see it here. Yes.
Okay,
It adds
so I'll
bonus
suffer
die
the-
to character's next combat check. Or 2 if you spend 2 maneuvers.
Yeah, I already spent 1 to get into the seat, so
Correct. It
I'll
would cost you
suffer
2
the
strain if you wanted to.
Yeah, and rather than get the boost die, is it possible for me to use that to specifically target the other ships? I don't know what you want to say, the landing gear, I guess.
Oh, kind of like a little bit of a cold shot. So
Yes.
so yeah, we'll apply. Let's see this. If you get a triumph, you absolutely will. If you get 2 successes, we'll say that happens. So, but add your boost die.
Okay. And what is the difficulty on that?
Difficulty is based off of silhouettes. So you guys are comparable ships. The difficulty is therefore, let me find it. Within plus or 1, difficulty 2. All right, still a strike. You hit near the landing struts, but kind of the meat of the ship. Your guns do damage here of 6. So 7 damage versus theirs. You can see some very deep and black scoring marks there above the struts as the whole ship just kind of shudders very quickly. Let's see. I'd be Virus. It will be your turn.
Alrighty. Which direction would you say, northwest, southeast their ship is?
Well, hold on.
I'm gonna try and cut them off.
Trying to see if I can roll a d4. I don't think they're in this. So let's do this. D8.
You could do that in Discord, could you?
Yeah, I could. You guys are kind of north-south of each other.
So they are to our 4 then?
That is correct. Both forward-facing each other.
Then I'll spend a maneuver to reassign our current aft shield.
Okay. To 4.
Yep. And then the door closed, and we're Arden. Then we're in the ship.
Yes, your ship is starting to repressurize. You can hear the sounds throughout the ship.
Maneuver to do the reassign, and I'll do a second maneuver as an action to accelerate this ship to speed.
To take off. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we are back at the beginning of the action. G and Arden, since you're standing, the ship kind of lurches forward because it was in the middle of repressurizing. The inertial dampeners have not exactly kicked in, so you guys are kind of thrust forward. Everybody in this compartment that does not have magnetic boots are going to be suffering a setback die to actions. But Arden, player character slot. It is your guys' go.
You want to shoot again while we're in range?
That's probably for the best. So Fezzik would like to take another shot at that.
All right.
And this time I'll go ahead and I'll suffer the strain again, but I'll use my maneuver to aim as well, so I'll get the 2 boost die.
Okay, fair enough. Ooh, resounding success. You
And one of those, not setbacks, I forget what those are called. Threats is canceled because I do get an automatic
Oh,
advantage
great.
with my cybernet.
All right. I am going to assign one threat back. It's system strain, essentially, on the ship. You
Okay.
kind of blast the strut there. Their whole ship lurches as it kind of starts to drift down, slams into the kind of the Durasteel runway that it was lying upon. Good shot. But NPC turn. This character looks right in the eyes of G. That will be the last thing you ever do. Kind of lunges forward at you. Had it been able to bring its claws to bear, would have been a pretty devastating attack, but only resorting to punches because of the suit. Ugh. And he misses as he kind of swings by you guys. Because you were kind of lurching around through the ship, he overcorrected himself and has brought himself exactly kind of parallel between Arden and G. That is his action.
Can Arden just do him a solid fucking boop with her? Oh,
You-
God.
With her bullets.
Yeah.
You do you, girl.
Yeah, my blaster. I was trying to think of the word. Yeah, she'd like to hit him with her blaster.
Okay, would you like to move out of engaged range first?
Yes.
Okay. So you kind of give yourself a little bit of space as you draw your weapon and go ahead and make an attack. So it would be difficulty 1, but you do have a setback die.
If you go to combat, you should see your blaster there. You should be able to drag the dice right from that into the bottom.
I was having a brain fart.
But you didn't have the bad
Holy
ones.
crap!
I did! I had them in there before I dragged it over.
Holy
Yeah, it rewrote it.
But just roll. No, just roll the. I'll roll it. Go ahead and clear that out.
How do I clear it?
Drag it to the desktop.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see.
Man, I had it in there and everything.
All right. So I'm gonna spend that to make an immediate maneuver after, if I live. Let me see what my soak is. I've got a soak of 5. Oh man, that hurts. You pop him a good one, and you can see just it's a slug thrower, right? No, ionization blaster. Oh shit. Isn't that as legal as fuck?
Is it?
Wow, that's okay. That's pretty awesome. So you blast him in his suit. Some of the mechanics, they don't exactly fail, but you can see the sparks and whir coming from kind of his chest plate there. He's going to spend those 2 threats to immediately take a maneuver towards the hatch of the ship. However, he's just not going to be able to open it. He's kind of jamming his hands and slamming into it, trying to pry it open any way he can. But the ship, because of the depressurization, will not release that hatch. Player character slot.
Is that seriously illegal? Because it's been on my sheet since we started.
No, it's fun.
Okay.
Nice, Fezzik.
Do you want to clean up, G, or?
Maybe.
Nice.
What would you guys like to do?
Oh, I can go ahead and do a circle with the.
Okay, so are you trying to stay within kind of close range to their ship, or are you trying to put some distance?
Yeah, I was thinking like, cause they're still like on the ground. I would like kind of get up and getting some height, but kind of circling them, bird of prey.
Okay, so still trying to remain in close range, so that is no problem at all. You can easily spend a maneuver just circle, maintain, so to speak.
And can I use my action to gain the advantage? So that would give remove 1 difficulty class for the next hit.
That is correct for each speed. I would say you're probably at speed 1 right now.
Yeah, and they're stopped.
There's
so-
0. Yeah, absolutely.
So next time you shoot them, you can difficulty 1.
Nice.
So I think there's one more player character slot. G hasn't gone.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot my mic was muted.
Oh, okay.
So I want to take out my lightsaber, activate it, but I don't want to attack him. I just want to say, if we can make you live, but you're going to have to explain some things, or we can do this the hard way.
All right, so let's make a little bit of a roll here. You're definitely going to have some advantage. Let's... I would say you could either use coercion or negotiation, unless you're trying to be a little more rapacious with your more threatening.
Threaten him. Give in to the dark side.
We'll go with negotiation, but it's a little more of the aggressive negotiation.
Right. Well, anything with a lightsaber. Go ahead and add in a boost die because, well, Jedi, he's frantically injured and trying to escape. Add a second. And just we'll do an average difficulty of 2. Let's see what happens. He is, your words, you try to reach him. He's just beyond that. He's kind of in that fight or flight mode as he's just trying to break open this kind of door frame, the escape hatch.
I guess it's the hard way then.
All right, so unless you have a maneuver that you would like to do, I think we'll be at top of order.
Nope.
All right, player character. Who's going to take it?
Shoot him. Either Fezzik can shoot the ship, or Arden can shoot the boy.
Arden would like to shoot him.
All right, your weapon does not have a stun setting. You're at short range. Because of the things, go ahead and take a setback die as well.
Are we killing him or do we not want to kill him?
If you shoot him, you will. If you hit, you will just vape him. Well, he'll die. He won't disintegrate.
You wouldn't ask that in character.
I know, but could I non-lethally just like hit him with the gun, like smack him up like pistol?
You will have to maneuver into engaged range, and you will have to make a strike with your brawn. So it would be a brawl skill.
I'll give it a shot. Why not?
Okay. Engaged 2 difficulty, 1 setback die. Unfortunately, yeah, as you kind of take your swing to try to hit him in the back of the head there, or the neck, he just lunges forward, just slamming into this thing as you miss. But go ahead and suffer that strain. His turn.
How much strain?
Just the single. So much difficulty bringing this guy down.
Y'all are being pansies.
He wants to be able to loot his body.
Let's do this. He will... 1 second. All right. So essentially what he's going to do, he's going to kind of give up on this hatch. He's going to run past Arden and G as he tries to make his way further into the interior of the ship. He is going to spend both maneuvers to kind of move in. Player character slot.
I'll go after him and hit him with my training lightsaber.
Alrighty. To keep up with him, you will have to spend 2 strain to double maneuver.
That's fine.
Those there in the cockpit, on the sensor board, you're starting to see a couple blips.
Oh no, we have company, boys.
You can make your attack because you're engaged 2 difficulty. At this point, everything is repressurized. No more disadvantage.
Okay.
Oh, strike. Okay. Is that enough to bring him down? Damage 7. As you kind of burst through the ship, you catch him across the back, and he falls.
And it's only stun damage.
Okay. Yeah, he's just lying there, a quivering mess. However, we're not out of the field yet, boys. See, we've got another player character slot and another player character slot. No, yeah.
Fez, take your shot.
Yeah, I'll wait until we're circling around the back of the ship, as long as we're still circling. And I like to take a called shot at their engines to make sure that they do not get back up again.
Okay. We're going to use the same rules here.
Okay, and I will go ahead and suffer the strain again to get the double aim, just to make sure.
Okay. That is a strike. As you deal damage, their engines kind of flicker for a moment, but not enough damage to bring them down. So you guys do, yeah.
Can I spend, because I would have the additional advantage there, can I go ahead and activate the critical for our weapons?
The critical is a 3.
Yes, I would have had 3 from the extra that I get automatically.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So let's do some of this. Ooh, power fluctuations. You can see their lights kind of dancing on and off. That was a solid strike. Virus. Just because you're kind of there in the cockpit, there are 2 small starfighter scale crafts coming in. They are at long range.
And where do they seem to be like coming from?
From one of the other sides of the moon, as they're kind of coming up and over the horizon. Long range is still a good ways off, but they are moving very quickly.
All right. Hit 5 will kind of point the ship opposite, like going away from them, and
Okay. You are at speed 1.
our max speed is 3, but I'm gonna go ahead and spend a maneuver to punch it, so that will automatically go our top speed of 3, and we suffer 1 strain per speed gain.
All right, so that would be 2 strain.
But
You guys have access to the sheet, yes?
yes,
We
sir.
do, but we can't edit it.
Oh, okay. I also can't edit it. Oh, wait, wrong sheet. But I sure can. Okay, so we brought you up to 2 current. Can you guys see when I edit?
And it should be 3 current because we suffered 1 strain earlier.
Thank you. There. Can you see that it is now 3?
Yes.
Perfect. And you guys had put the shields up to the 4, if I remember correctly. So let me adjust that. All right. So you punched it, and that brought your speed to 3. Do you have any other maneuvers or actions? I think that is an action, right?
Punching it's a maneuver, and then I'll use my other maneuver just to fly. So at speed 3, I can go from close to short.
Yep, they're at long range. Essentially, you're trying to just kind of keep that sort of range distance.
Right.
All right, so that would be all the player characters' turns. Top of the order. We are going to keep the same initiative order. However, instead of a melee combatant, you now have 2 starfighters that are going to take that slot. So, player character slot.
I'm not going to necessarily take a turn, but I'd like to at least say, what are you doing? We can take them.
I'm just trying to get clear of the landing pad. Didn't exactly fancy getting snuck up on. Do one of the people down in the hatch want to maybe meander their way?
There is another gun that somebody can take. There is engineering, so to speak. And there is... I'm trying to think of what else you guys can do. Co-pilot, if somebody has skill in that.
I can go up and help open.
Yeah, I'd like to stay on the guns, but I can hop to engineering if we start taking a lot of damage.
See who all has gunnery skill. Bye. Looks like just you and Phi have gunnery skill. Fez and Phi. So anyways, it is a player character turn. What do you guys want to do?
If Arden can take the controls, we can handle the guns.
Okay. So suggestion to Arden to move to the co-pilot seat.
Yeah, she'll go up and help him.
All right, so essentially it's going to take 2 maneuvers to get there. You plop down in the seat. You kind of slap a few controls, kind of activate the co-pilot. You'll be able to start doing whatever actions that you need. However, it is the snub fighters' turns. They are going to close, and they are going to close. So they are going to bring long distance. Because you had put some additional distance, they're going to move into a medium distance player character slot. They're hot on your trail.
I'd like to open up on them. Give them a nice welcoming present.
Can you fire at medium range? You sure
They
can.
are medium range.
All right, you got 2 targets. Yeah, obviously, target 1, target 2, just to keep it simple.
Yeah, easy enough. I'll aim at target 1. Is there any? They both look the same, right?
Yeah, they're both just very small. Treat them as though they're TIE fighters. They're not. They're just small snub craft.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll just aim at target 1 just to keep it nice and easy.
All right, so it's a
Take my
difference
shot.
of silhouette here. My guys are silhouette 3. You guys are silhouette 4. So plus or minus of 1, difficulty 2.
And I will go ahead and use my maneuver to aim once.
Okay. Seven damage. Okay.
I'd like to make a roll on that crit table as well.
Boom. All right. So as you fire your laser cannons at this target, you smack into one of its foils. Power surge through the engines. Kind of boost for a second as it's kind of careening out of control, slams into the side of the structure that was there. Explodes. He is done for. Player character slot.
All right. Fi will, as he's still keeping the ship going. He'll angle a deflector shield back towards the aft as a maneuver.
Does it move both or just 1 point?
Just 1 point.
Okay.
And then I'll take an evasive maneuvers as my other one. Until the end of the round, all difficulty attacks against us are upgraded ones.
Okay, duly noted. So I think there's one more player character slot.
Yes.
You gonna try to make it to the other guns?
What's the state of our unexpected guest?
Oh, he is unconscious, but you know that he won't be unconscious forever.
Yeah, is there a way that I can, like, tie him up and secure him somewhere?
Yeah, I will say that you can spend your maneuver to kind of go around, find something to bind him, unless you have something on your person, and an action to kind of subdue him, wrap him up.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, no problem. Top of the order again.
Since you seem to be so good at it, you want to shoot again?
I suppose I could give it a shot. And just for shits and giggles, because I was able to also recover a strain there, I will go ahead and do a double aim again.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go ahead and spend the light point for fun on your sides.
Nice. So you can upgrade one of those to a yellow. And difficulty, of course, is 2. Oh. Oh.
This poor guy.
That triumph.
All right, so he's coming in. Of course, he's getting into that range where he's going to start to open fire. You can almost see the barrels start to ignite, like they're going to shoot a volley at your craft as your blast just goes right through the cockpit, splits the craft in two for just a second as it explodes. Shards go flying everywhere. All right, good job. We're going to bring ourselves out of combat. You still have the craft on the ground to deal with, but their ship at this point is basically disabled. They may or may not have life support, The 2 snub fighters are destroyed, and the 1 brute has been subdued. Good job.
I'd like to see if I could hack into their communications and speak to them directly through their own loudspeaker system.
Interesting. So let's put that at difficulty 3. Computer use. Wow. Okay. However, I am going to assign this system strain, just 1, to your ship.
If I will use his high G training to take that strain on himself.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's an interesting technique.
Yep. But you will suffer the 2. All right. So you now have access to their comms. What do you say?
Now you see we've made very short work of your craft and your little friends there too. And the agent you sent to attack our associate is currently unconscious in our hold. I think it would be in your best interest to explain yourselves.
You got that kind of moment of silence. We need power.
We could be willing to help you out with that for a price.
Whatever you can kind of hear him gasping for air a little bit. Whatever you need.
Hey, Arden, help me bring it in.
Well then, boys, what do you need? Or
Their life support seems to be struggling as they're running out of oxygen. Plus the damage that they've sustained, they probably have a breach somewhere.
Yeah, you're in the co-pilot seat. You're gonna help. Help me bring him in.
this isn't really. I've never actually had to co-pilot with someone before.
We're just trying to bring the ship in closer to them.
Are you wanting her to make a roll?
It was just for flavor. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm just fucking with you guys.
I'm
Yeah,
so confused.
So,
yeah.
yeah, Arden kind of flips a few things, takes control of the yoke for a second. You don't need to make any sort of piloting checks. You're skilled in this. You bring the craft down fairly close to their ship. About this point, your captive kind of stirs awake, finds that he's been tied up, struggles against it for a little bit, realizes it's not going to help.
You asked for the hard way.
If you put us down, I'll be willing to head over there and board their craft. I don't think they're going to put up much of a fight at this point.
Okay, we're going to fast track a little bit. You guys will give them a little bit of a boost in power, enough to get their life supports up and running. That way they can kind of repair what small thing that they have. Then we'll jump right into the role play. The group, it's mostly just a mismatch of gruff humans. You got the better of us. I sure would have liked that ship.
You're damn straight we did. Fuck you for trying.
Fine. Let me guess, you're gonna keep all the goods.
Unless you got a reason for us to help you out after everything you put us through.
It's not much, but we have some connections I'd be willing to share.
Well, answer me this. How do you know Jarek?
He doesn't need to know about this, does he?
Depends. Would that make him more or less likely to help us?
Jarek's, he kind of does his own thing. But if he learns that we tried to double-cross him, we're as good as dead.
Well, don't worry. If I had wanted to kill you, then wouldn't have pulled back in.
I believe that. So, if you give us the goods here, we can make some sort of arrangements. If you ever need any work, we'll make sure you got work.
Fi will kind of look at Fez and Arden. Sound okay with you guys?
Just quietly to the side, I'll just say, well, it's not as though we have the connections to offload this shit anyway. We may as well have them owe us a favor instead.
I guess.
So, yeah. I don't even know what we really have in the cargo bay, to be honest with you.
Would I have known what it was when I opened the crates earlier?
It is weapons. Military grade weapons.
Where's this stuff supposed to go to anyway? I don't suppose you're using it.
No. We're just middlemen. We're taking it back to the core worlds.
To supply who?
Does it matter?
It might.
The
We have
imps pay well.
friends in the core world.
The imps pay well when they do pay. Republic.
You think the Empire's gonna do us any better than the Republic has?
It don't matter. Credits all spend the same.
Until they stab you in the back on one of those deliveries.
That's true. That's why we always try to stay one step ahead. And he kind of hangs his head in shame.
Hey, look, Fez. I don't have a lot of love lost for the Empire either, but I don't think it's going to do us much good holding on to these.
No, I agree, but I'm just strongly encouraging them not to help out the Empire.
Oh, you won't find any regrets on my end about that. If we could talk you guys into pursuing other markets, maybe?
Let's do this. I will let whomever that's talking make a negotiation check. It will be at average difficulty, but you guys vastly have the upper hand. We'll add 3 boost die.
Negotiations are not my specialty, so if anybody else wants to make that roll.
You said average difficulty?
That is correct.
Do it.
Boom.
And fuck them up.
Oh no. Oh yeah. Fine. I promise you they won't go to any of the imps. We'll find another buyer. You did us a real solid here.
Now see, if all cutthroats could be this congenial, then the world would be a better place.
You guys are negotiating from the high ground for sure.
Yep. Fez, if you'll help them out, let's offload all the goods and make sure they can get off the ground.
All right, so you guys spend the next several half hour, whatever it takes to unload these crates. The main guy has a like a hand scanner. As soon as he scans that first crate, your data chip that was kind of in your computer, you got a chime, like you've got an incoming message. They go about their business, unload everything. What do you guys do with the captive there? Do you guys kind of release him as well?
Maybe not until after Arden has a quiet moment with.
Oh, giggity.
As a side note, I did want to skim through those crates, and if there was any weapon that particularly stood out as something useful, I'd like to grab it for myself.
You can. Let's see. I'm feeling a little generous. But let's do that to kind of balance things out. You will find one thermal detonator that is kind of released and not locked up in like a security type case.
Nice. That could definitely come in handy.
Can Arden loot the hostage?
You're gonna take
Is that a
him up.
thing?
You can take his he's got a heavy blaster pistol and a vibro sword.
She'll take both of them. And and for good measure, she'll say, "Don't put your hand on a lady you're not intending to buy." And then she'll spit on him.
He takes it the best that he can. Trandoshans are full of pride, but he kind of slinks his tail under his legs as he exits the craft, thankful for his life. But he may be holding a grudge.
Part of me really thinks you should have also taken the environment suit off of him and told him to hold his breath.
Oh, wow. Get about 4 seconds. All right. A little bit more of fast track. We'll do this scene and then we'll take a quick break. The chip in your computer starts to chime. When you guys get around to it, it is a small recorded message from Jarek. Good job. I knew you could do it. Just as promised, I think this is what you're looking for. And it's coordinates. I don't know what you'll find there, but good job. If you ever need any other work, come see me.
Well, if he knew where it was enough to send us with the information ahead of time, Jarek up to his usual games again.
Out of curiosity, did we also get the names of the other crew there, so we could call on them again if we need
Yeah.
to?
I'll generate up some names so they're not all just like
Okay.
Bob and Dave. But yeah, that's no problem there. We'll give them a little handle as well. We'll just call them the Crimson Moonbat. It's a terrible name, but that's their gang. All right, so not going to make you guys do any astromech checks. I'm just going to set up this next scene before we go on a short break. You guys follow those coordinates. I imagine you're going to take probably a day to lick a little wounds. Fez, you can make me some mechanics roll. You would have a little time to repair that droid if you so wish. But as you guys approach this space station, it is just massive. It is not quite a moon, but you wouldn't be surprised that it might rival some of the smaller ones that are out there. Around it, you see like debris. It's so large that it's actually kind of creating its own kind of mass point, which is very odd. You guys can do some sort of science rolls later if you so wish. You eventually find a place to dock. When you do, the inside it's clean, but it's almost like it's dusty, and it's got like this thin layer of, I don't know if you've ever messed with like glue. You know how it leaves that little bit of residue on your hands, and you can kind of peel it off. There's like a thin layer spread throughout the ship. Again, there is a very old craft, much older than the Old Republic, is just kind of sitting there dormant. Looks like it hasn't been touched in, you probably can't even quantify. As you kind of look around this dock as well, you see what almost looks like floating bodies. Just 2 or 3 kind of caught in the low G kind of atmosphere of this place. It's enough to walk on, but it's definitely not solid ground per se. And at that, let's take a quick let's be back at like 5 after 11. Sound good?
Sure.
Yep.
Aye,
All right, see you guys in a little bit. And I'm back.
Heyo.
Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you.
Azure, you'll have to refresh me. How does the linked trait thing work on our ship's gun?
I'd have to double check that myself, actually. I believe if you get a certain number of advantages, you can have both guns hit rather than just one, but I'm not 100% sure.
I believe that is how it works. I think it just increases the damage at the sacrifice of shooting at multiple targets in different arcs.
Oh, okay. So there's some like resource management there. What you want to spend the advantage on?
All right, is everybody back?
Yep.
So, at this point, we're just going to say everybody is healed up to max. You guys will have enough time to recover and all that. As you guys are kind of, you'll be investigating the area and that sort of thing. You'll be able to lick all of your wounds. So we'll get a fresh kind of a slate here. And as you guys are investigating out again, had described the scene, you will see several almost bodies just kind of drifting throughout this hangar bay.
I
What
think
do you-
those were the welcoming committee.
You said the ship looks crazy old too, right? The one that was already in here.
Way old. So old that you could try to identify it, but it would be an extremely difficult check.
I'll take a crack at it. No reason not to.
All right. Difficulty is going to be 5 on that. And let's do knowledge. And the best thing might be either education, maybe warfare might be appropriate as well, since it is a combat vessel.
It's the same either way for me.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, unfortunately, you just cannot figure out where this you can't place it in time.
Surprisingly close, though.
Yeah, right? The dice can do funny things in this game for sure. All right, what do you guys want to kind of investigate first?
Is there atmosphere in here, or
There
Mod
is.
50s
It's
at
just
the
very
bottom?
low G.
Oh, okay.
Do we want to try and use our scanners to see if we can find anything else out?
You could try and do a sweep and see if we pick up any life forms.
All right. Computer use, difficulty 2. You are detecting life. The biggest presence, it's faint, but one of the corpses seems to be alive out there. You're also detecting humanoid-esque life throughout the complex, but just because of how large it is, you can't really pinpoint exactly where it's residing.
I'll relay that to the group.
God, so you're saying those things are alive out there? Oh,
One of them.
That's disgusting.
So what is our chances of getting mauled to death the second we step outside the ship?
Probably about the same as anywhere else we go, really.
Okay, but I'm not going out first this time. Twice in a row now, y'all have had me go out front.
Well, I mean, the lady has a point.
I ain't falling for that shit again.
And I'll take the lead this time. I'm curious about what's going on here.
All right, you guys step outside of the ship. As your boots kind of make contact, you kind of, that film starts to, it's not super slippery or anything like that, but as you kind of take steps in the low G, it starts to kind of peel up from your footsteps and start to float up and around you.
Could use a bit of a maid service in this joint.
It is definitely not Imperial.
We got a direction we're heading, folks?
Well, I, for one, would love to check out that ship.
Divide and conquer?
I guess we could all head to it, unless you have anything else you want to do.
We may want to check up on that one life form that's floating up there first, just to make sure it's okay, I guess. I'm not sure.
Can we just let it, like, be? It's not hurting anybody.
Y'all go check the ship. I'll keep a blaster pointed at it.
All right, so it sounds like 3 of you are going to head over towards the ship. You guys kind of investigate the outside for a little bit, and then you're met by a strange individual. As you're kind of looking around trying to find entry, half ethereal kind of pokes its head out through the hall. It's a humanoid, male, roughly 25 years of age. Hair is kind of slicked back, and he kind of just watches you guys for a moment. What are you doing?
Ah, jeez, it's a ghost.
You can, again, he is ethereal. You can see through him. That's kind of rude. I asked what you were doing.
You can't just poke your head through the whole entire hull and just expect us not to react with surprise.
Sure I can. And maybe one day you can too. As he kind of pulls himself out of the ship, just kind of floating there like it's nothing, just in a real relaxed pose. It don't work.
The ship, you mean?
Well, yeah.
Why
You've got a
not?
pretty craft.
Yeah, we do. I could probably try and make this one just as good.
If you like. Anyways, be seeing ya. This time he kind of floats down through the floor.
If I can call out to him before he completely disappears, I'll say, "Hey, wait, is one of these bodies here yours?"
He kind of pokes his head out a little bit, just enough so just below his bottom lip sticks out. What do you mean?
Well, you're a ghost, right? And these fellas here are dead, so I was just figuring.
You might not know that.
I'm not dead.
See?
I'm free.
How long have you been free, quote unquote?
He kind of looks puzzled there for a moment. You got anything to eat on that ship?
We got enough. Why?
Well, I wouldn't want you to go hungry. Anyways, be seeing ya. He kind of floats down. His arm pops up through the bottom of the floor and does kind of a wave as it descends down in.
Well, that wasn't ominous at all.
And we're still gonna let Fyrus go out and check out that.
I don't think he was gonna get close to it. I think he was just gonna make sure it didn't move on.
Okay, let's jump over to Fyrus. What are you doing?
So how far away was the live one from their ship?
So, from your ship, the floating quote-unquote corpse is about long distance. The ship and your companions would be at roughly medium distance.
He would have, after the others started walking away, he pulled his slug thrower, and he'd be walking closer, like cautiously towards it, kind of looking at it through his
Towards the group or towards the floating corpse?
towards the floaty.
Okay. As you get kind of within eye distance of it, it starts to kind of roll over a little bit, and you see a Godel. An emaciated Godel, but a Godel nonetheless. His eyes start to kind of widen, like it takes every bit of energy he has to open the lids, and he looks at you.
Hey, friend, you looking okay there?
I am not your friend.
Well, that's reassuring.
Why are you here?
I just wanted to look around a bit. Kind of a big station.
It is indeed. Just don't go getting in the way of the others.
Are there more of you here?
There are many. And there will be more.
Can I get you a Kit Kat bar?
A what?
Something to eat? You look like you've seen better days there, not friend.
I am fine. I have this.
As he kind of moves his hand a little bit. Again, it's all emaciated. You can practically see every bone that's in his body. He seems to be clutching something. Is that NutriPaste pack?
Well, I would consider womping down on it. I really think you've seen better days.
I really think you should consider minding your own affairs.
Hey, I'm a bleeding heart. Gotta be concerned with people when I see them. Oh, I'll leave you to your...
Yes, yes.
So he kind of closes his eyes again.
Fi will back away from him, like more towards the group now, but he's keeping his gun pointed at him.
Okay. I imagine the other group sees this. The Godel does not really move or stir. As the group kind of converges together.
So, guy over there that's floating is very, very much alive. Very weird.
Well, we met a ghost over here. That was pretty weird too.
Wait,
Yeah,
you
I
met
don't like it here.
you met a ghost?
Yeah, popped his head through the hull of the ship and ducked down through the bulkhead.
Okay, so we have really old people and that are still alive and ghosts. What are we doing here again, folks?
Looking for our next clue, supposedly.
Well, he did say that there were others on this station, and given his predicament, I guess live ones, so try and keep your guard.
I'd love to see about getting on this ship. There's got to be some evidence of whoever owned it before us and what became of them.
If you can crack it, I'll try and keep a watch.
And so as I'll keep looking around trying to find a way in.
So the ship has no power whatsoever, so computer use is completely out. Given enough time and the proper material, you might be able to score or burn your way in with a plasma torch.
Let me check if my toolkit has one.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
As you guys are kind of rummaging around,
Nope.
trying to figure out what exactly is going on. Off in the distance, it was really hard to make out, but the blast doors for this area just kind of open, and they are way larger than standard humanoid, way larger than even a Wookiee. Wookiees are what? About 3 meters, 2.5 meters tall. You're looking at about a 5 meter tall doorway opens up, equidistant as the two panels slide open. And are you guys familiar with Keelix?
I am, I don't think. If you haven't played SWTOR.
Nope, I'm an ignorant slut.
Let me see if I can pull up a picture here real quick, but we'll keep going. As he kind of clatters around, he sees the group, kind of twitches a little bit, and retreats back into the doorway.
What was that?
Oh, cool. That's one of the others, I'm assuming. You gonna open this door, Fizz?
I'd rather not completely destroy the ship just to get into it. I'm thinking maybe if we can get some power running from our ship to it, might be able to get it open that way.
Like jump it?
Basically.
Well, you do that then. G, if you wanna walk forward with me, I wanna look at the door.
Okay.
And I posted a picture for you all.
Nope.
Interesting.
So, actually, Rainbow, those are the mounds on your home planet. So you would have been semi-familiar with.
Correct?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Because they're insects, right? Yeah.
I will let you make a xenology check with because you're from the planet. Yeah, we'll say even though you haven't really studied it, you would have probably overheard some things. So let's make it an easy roll, 1 boost die. Easy is 1 difficulty.
Got it?
Yarp. Yeah, so if you even want to jump to Wiki real quick, you can read up on them a little bit. Notable things, they're a hive mind. Nice ass.
First thing I thought of.
All right, what do you guys want to do? Would you guys want to try to get into the ship?
If we can shuttle our ship closer over to it and try to hook up the power supply from ours to some access point on theirs to power the doors.
All right. As you guys are kind of prepping the ship, you're looking for proper tools. In kind of the mechanics area, Fez, a head will kind of poke through. It is not that male figure, but roughly the same age, female, similar features, kind of slicked back, brunettish, dark hair. I think it's over there. She kind of points in the area of where you were looking for like plasma torches and all sorts of breaching type gear.
And this is on our ship?
That is on your ship.
Well, hello there.
I said it's right over there.
What's right over where?
You're trying to get in the ship, aren't you?
Well, yeah, but we're trying not to thoroughly destroy it.
Oh, I see. It's quite without power, without supplies.
Well, I'm a pretty handy guy. I think I can give it a nice jump start from our ship.
Do what you like. As she kind of floats back into the recesses of the hull.
If there's anybody with me, I'll just comment that we should probably keep an eye on our own systems to make sure these ghosts aren't screwing around with our ship.
Yeah, let's just get what we need to get done and get out of here.
Okay, as you guys are kind of doing your prep work, everything starts to shake. It's not like a magnitude 8 earthquake or anything like that. Just enough to kind of rattle things on your ship.
While they were trying to mess with the ship, G and Phi were going to go try and look at the door that the killet came.
Okay. You kind of investigate it. You look it over for a little bit. You think that maybe you can figure out the computer system. It's in a very odd language. Not sure exactly. Well, you can make a xenology check. Do average. See if you can figure out the language.
Better you than me there.
Okay. So you're going to start to gather some information. These advantages might be spent later to assist you guys. I will allow you to make a computer use because you cannot speak the language. It's going to be a difficulty 2 purple, 1 red.
Yeah, you take point on that. I'm mad.
2 purple, 1 red.
Correct.
If you want to
Hope
use
for the best.
Success. As you kind of start to plug away, starting to get a feel for the symbols here, it is very alien. The doors will open. Down the hallway, long range, you see that Keelik just standing there. He kind of hunkers down a little bit, almost in like a, you know how cats get when they're like, you know, they kind of shrink back. Something similar to that.
Phi will kind of lean out of the door frame and leading with his gun. Look around and see if there's any other ones around.
Not that you see. It is a very open hallway. It seems to lead into a room that's pretty massive in size. You can see like spinning gyros and all sorts of mechanical equipment in there.
I'll go on through and move a bit forward.
As you get in about medium range of the Killick, he kind of holds up his hand and speaks in a very clicky language. You guys kind of stare at each other for a while.
I have no idea what he's saying at all.
Nope.
I don't know basic, but I'm gonna like put my hands up and just say, "We mean no harm."
Let's see here. Let's do a survival roll, difficulty 3. You can do it, I believe in you. Oh, nice.
One.
Nice. Unfortunately, neither one is budging at this point. Can't quite understand each other. He stares at you guys for a little bit and then quickly rights himself and moves at a hurried pace away from you.
Well, he's not attacking outright. That's a good sign, but
He's not aggressive alone, but he may be getting others.
it's true. How deep do you think what we came here to find is in this place?
Well, this is a big place. So what we're looking for may be not just in one single location.
I don't like it here already. Let's get back to the ship.
As you guys kind of discuss things, turn around, popping out of the side wall, the younger gentleman. You trying to make friends? He kind of smiles ear to ear.
Well, we're not
Friend.
trying to make enemies.
You should watch out for that one. He's gone a bit bobby.
Are there others like him?
Not that I've seen, and I think my sister doesn't agree, but I think it's part of the problem.
What problem?
Well, he's the only one. He kind of looks at you with a confused look, like, why don't you understand?
There used to be a lot more of them.
Oh, from what I heard, built this place they did.
Well, what happened to the others?
Don't know. Weren't many around when I got here. They built it a long time ago. In a galaxy far, far away.
Well, thanks for the advice.
Always happy to help.
Say
You two.
wouldn't-
Make me a perception check. Average difficulty, 1 setback die.
I have the ability Keen Eye, so I can ignore.
Okay. Setback die.
I can ignore the. Yes.
Awesome. Oh, failed, but a triumph. So, you don't see, I guess, what was intended. However, around his lips, you see him kind of smacking him and licking him real quick as he disappears.
Well, that was nice. Let's get back to the ship, eh?
Yeah. And as we walk back, can I, like, try and recall anything that I've read about on you, like ghosts?
Yeah. So let's do lore would be applicable.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's probably about the best.
Difficulty?
Difficulty ghosts, we'll say average.
Okay.
Unfortunately, just nothing tangible sticks out in your head. Like, it's childhood stories. Even like force ghosts and stuff, it's not super commonplace in this era.
So we try and go and meet up with the others again.
All right. Fast track a little bit. I know you guys are dying to get into that ship. We trying to bar entry in, or are we trying to divert some of your power? What was the plan?
We're gonna go with the power route because I'm trying to not make it unusable.
Okay. So it's going to be a 3 difficulty, but upgrade 1 to a red die. And that would be a computer use.
And would you say that this is opening a locked door?
In this instance, no. Unlocking the door would be like a result of powering it on and being able to unlock it. So I would say no, not in this case.
Okay. I'll go ahead and spend a light side point to upgrade my check a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, the difficulty is kind of, you have to convert things over to different powers, so you've got adapters on adapters, etc.
Ah, damn it.
You guys try. You can try again, but the difficulty is going to increase by a lot and could very potentially damage your ship at this point.
I guess we'll have to cut it open then, so I guess we'll go that route.
All right, not going to make you make any checks. It's just a matter of time. Any checks would have cut down on that time. You go to work with the plasma torch. Eventually, you're going to gain way inside. You're going to find 4 corpses. 1 is in the pilot seat. 2 are around something similar to a Jarek board. Like the hollow chest. And 1 seems to be kind of in the pantry area, where the food is made.
Looks like these people died quite unexpectedly, given their position.
Did we make it back to them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Could we summon our medical droid to see if it can figure a cause of death on these bodies?
Okay. Yeah. Given enough time, we'll just say that your droid is repaired to a basic function. And preliminary.
We got the functioning model, didn't we?
Oh, maybe you did. Sorry, it's been 3 weeks.
Did
Yeah,
I
we got
powered
Yeah,
up.
we got the good one.
You were right. You guys did. So it does its preliminary kind of testing results. They died of starvation, really, malnutrition. The droids, oh, what an agonizing way to go.
So this wasn't instantaneous, but slow.
I'm gonna check the pantry and see if there's any food in there.
The pantry is bare. And as you guys are skirmishing around, standing outside the ship as you guys kind of pass through one of the portholes, you see that Killick just looking up into the ship.
Hey, not to spook you guys, but the ghost said that that's the only one of his kind left here.
Have you guys been able to talk to it at all, or?
I didn't study clicking.
He looks a little familiar. Harding will kind of give them a little rundown of what little she knows of them.
So,
Okay.
can you speak clicking, Arden?
Is that under something, or is that just a call I made?
Don't you pick languages at the beginning?
It's more a flavor thing. I don't think that's really codified in this.
Yeah, it won't really matter.
Okay.
Because he's holding a device. And just fast tracking a little bit. It is some sort of very crude translation device. He seems to want you guys to converse with him.
Well, if you're familiar with them, go ahead.
He speaks first. A series of clicks and clacks goes into the apparatus and comes back out as an audible, yet broken, basic. We are wondering, did you bring the others?
Where's the other ones then? If you're...
We are all alone here.
Where are your friends?
Perished. We all perished.
How did you survive?
We is very crafty. We were able to keep foodstuffs away from the others.
What changed that made everyone run out of food?
You must summon the others. The countdown has started.
Counting down to what?
We cannot remember.
How can we call your friends?
We do not know. Take us with you, please.
Well, we do have some food at the very least we could share, right guys?
Yeah, I mean, as long as he's not gonna stab us in the back.
We mean you no harm. Let us gather our things. Please, come with us.
Okay.
Can you tell us one thing?
He looks at you expectantly.
Whose ship is this?
We recall a group of humans. Lost they were. We tried to help them.
How long ago was this?
Let us recall. He gives an age about 3,500 BBY. Long time ago.
Oh boy.
Arden, make me a Xeno at difficulty 1. Let's see if you can recall any other bits.
That's it.
Okay. Success. You remember in your studies, you probably weren't a great student, I imagine, but you do remember learning about life on your planet. In the Keelik, you remember this just because it's so obscure. They are a hive mind, but they can't distinguish between like fact and fiction. When someone of the group has a false memory, it's shared amongst all the people. So history of the Keelik is very hard to follow, picking out truth from fact from fiction.
Okay, so he may not be intentionally misleading us, but he doesn't know any. How long? We don't really know actually how long they've been here. How truthful what he's saying is.
Well, I can tell you this ship is very old, so at least that much adds up.
And it sounds like the group of people that came here are the group of people that we saw on the other planets.
They are in fact different.
Do any of the bodies inside here match the appearance of the two ghosts we've seen?
No, they do not.
Alright, well, let's get our friend onto the ship and
We must gather our things.
yeah, we can take you around.
Come with us. A great many things we can show you.
Okay, we'll follow right behind you.
We do not trust the others. But you can trust us. Do you guys trust him? At least enough to follow him?
Yes.
All right.
Can we communicate without using the translator so he can understand us?
You believe so, yes.
In that case, I will do that and relay to the group. It basically sounds like he managed to starve the rest of his people to death by hoarding all the food for himself, so not super trustworthy.
Right, but given what Arden said, and some of this is clicking a bit
You
to me.
don't know
maybe.
the power of the dark side.
But if they're a hive mind, then how could he have been manipulating or betraying the other people if they all like share that?
Someone above him would have had to give him that, or someone defected hard enough.
Please, come with us. As he starts to move away down the corridors. He gets up to that first panel, and he turns his body so you can see him kind of typing away. You guys will at least be able to open unprotected doors, is what we'll call it. As you guys kind of move through the facility, you can see these large, almost like these big turbines that are spinning with centrifugal force, just kind of moving about, probably powering this large station. Again, as you're moving around, who has the dagger?
Oh, I thought it was on the ship.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't think any of us kept it in our inventory.
If anyone touched it, it would be G. Did you move it?
I probably would have left it on the ship with the pyramid artifact too.
Okay. As you guys again start to move through, he moves into a room. There's a lot of computer banks kind of around. You'll see him go and yank one of the panels off, and inside you can see, to humanoids, it's pretty disgusting. A lot of insects and stuff that he's been kind of nurturing in a farm here to kind of sustain himself. Perhaps that's how he kept himself alive. Would anyone like to do anything in this room?
Is there anything particularly noteworthy in the room that stands out aside from the...
There's a lot of computer
food bit?
systems.
What is it you wanted to show us? Is it something on one of these computers?
Yes, we must show you. He kind of dances his hands over the keys, almost as though he's become very intimate with it. He'll pull up a schematic of the station, and he'll kind of show bits of footage. He pulls up the camera that's kind of overlooking the dock. It's not past footage, it's present. You can see that brother and sister. You can see them enter your ship. They kind of come back out with a few items. It's kind of hard to make out. And G, roll me a force die.
Oh, gee.
Ooh. You get a very strong, sudden sense of coldness that kind of washes over you. You're able to kind of bolster yourself, believing and drawing on the force to kind of keep it at bay. But everyone in the room will see this emanation. It's ethereal, but not quite the same degree as the brother-sister kind of walks into the room. It looks like they have a dark blood red kind of cloak on. And it speaks to you. Why are you here?
We're looking for what's to be found.
And what is it that you are looking for?
I don't know. What are we looking for, guys? A pyramid-shaped hole?
In a very kind of sensual way, she kind of moves her head and neck. Almost like she's drawing on something that's giving her pleasure. I sense it. Have you brought it?
Yeah, it totally looks looks like we brought it.
No, but it's close. Come back to me. I will give you secrets.
And poof, gone. Just vanish.
Okay, is that another friend of yours there, Clicky Boy?
We have seen them once, 3 times. We remember dancing and singing. We remember the countdown.
As he traces his hands over the keyboard, and he brings up, think of like Orabesh numbers, and it's counting down. It is an incredibly large number.
Like, is it still that many digits, or are there a lot of zero?
You guys could try to figure out, given enough time and some study. So, like an education roll would be applicable.
May I suggest at least some of us head back and try to stop those 2 ghosts that very clearly stole stuff from us?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. What are we rolling? The education?
It's going to be an average. Ooh, 2 successes. So you guys kind of put your heads together, start bouncing numbers off, looking at how it's ticking down, seconds, hours, minutes, days, cycles. Arden kind of chimes in, well, what about this? Phi. It's been quite a while. Do you remember when we discussed roughly what year this was?
Oh gosh, yeah.
35. Oh,
No, this was been before. 2243, somewhere around there. 2143.
Something like I'm gonna try and look for it, but yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna put this in terms of, you guys obviously don't know what BBY is or ABY. Your characters don't. You might know out of character. If what you guys are thinking is accurate, somewhere around 60 ABY is when this will finish its count.
You told me 3642.
Okay. So let me retract a previous statement, because I was thinking it was around. So that ship would have been roughly 4,500 BBY. Just add 1,000. Just to keep a time sync.
So sorry, you said that. So the countdown is like soon.
No. So you count up in years just because of how Star Wars is. So you've got 3,642 years to hit Battle of Yavin. Add another 60.
Okay, yeah.
So about 37,000 years from now. No, 3,700 years from now. I was told thered be no math.
Right. Okay, so super duper long time in the future. Oh, at least we didn't have to worry about this next week. I might have to reschedule my doctor's appointment though.
He collects his things. What do you guys do? You taking him? You leaving? You're here for a reason. Haven't quite figured it out yet.
I'm already out of the room looking for those ghosts.
Okay. As you get back kind of to that area, you won't find them, but you'll find some of your kind of like dried goods or NutriPaste packs kind of scattered outside the ship, discarded.
Have they left a trail, or is it just ends there?
It just ends. They probably blinked somewhere, phased through somewhere.
They ate our food.
Stole our shit, ate our food, and got out of here. I swear, some people, no manners.
What the heck?
How? Hold on. How do ghosts eat food?
Well, the one did say he wasn't a ghost, so maybe he was telling the truth.
You could ask the Godel.
Actually, yeah. Fi will go back over to his emaciated. Oi, oi.
Takes him a moment to stir, even longer than before. A good 40 seconds. He opens his eyes.
What is it?
I noticed you had your eyes closed, but our ship just got jacked by those ghosts you got floating around. Did you see where they went?
I was trying to walk with my mind.
Well, I'd like to walk with more NutriPaste packets than I currently have now.
I don't see how I can help you.
He tightens a little bit on the pack that he has.
How are these ghosts able to get our things? Why aren't they like you?
You ask a lot of questions. Questions you do not you do not have the fortitude to discover.
Alrighty, well, a whole lot of help you've been. Sorry to disturb you for the second time.
Yes, I'm sure you are.
Kind of tramp back like, well, he hasn't seen anything. Big surprise.
All right, you guys kind of discuss a few things. As you get on the ship, you'll see both the brother sister essentially. They look not exactly identical, but close enough that you're like they're related. One of them is kind of rummaging through a couple things. They see you kind of come in. They don't even care. But the female goes, "What's this?"
What's what?
"What is this you have tucked away?" The brother speaks. "What kind of strange metal is that?" "I don't know. I ain't never seen anything quite like this."
Don't go rifling through Arden's private thing.
Hey.
Technology has come a long way.
Wink one.
"Do you have any more food?"
Not at the rate you're going through it.
If you wanted a snack, you could have asked, you know?
"Well, The sister kind of butts in.
Well, we didn't mean to offend.
Well, you kind of slipping with the intention then.
Well,
Was it you two who we saw taking stuff out of our ship, or was there more of you?
well, there are some, but most of them, they're in the sleep. We can take you to them.
There was a fella floating around outside who said something about trying to walk with his mind. Is that what you two were doing?
No, we're a little bit beyond that.
Well, can just anybody learn to go through the floor like you guys do?
Well, we could take you to someone. They might be able to show you how. But probably not you.
They point at G.
This one.
What's the matter with him?
Can't you sense it?
Kind of a prat, but is that the criteria?
No, this one walks with the Force.
Well, yeah, he's a Jedi. You saying this is something only people who aren't Jedi can do?
No. But mostly only the Jedi survive.
So are your friends here, deeper on the ship?
The space station?
Yeah.
They're not really our friends. But we can take you to them.
Well, guys, we got a bug that wants to go with us, and ghosts that want us to go with them. What do we do?
Well, we'll be around if you change your mind.
As they start to pull their way through the ship, you guys see out of the corner of your eyes, the female has the dagger, but as she tries to pass through the ship with it, it falls out of her hand, clatters to the floor.
I'm gonna go and scoop that up.
Yoinked.
If you're gonna hang on to that, I'd suggest you keep a very tight watch on it, because they may not be able to pass through the walls of the ship with it, but they can probably steal it from you.
G, as you pick it up, again, it's kind of that dark metal. You can see that the etching starts to bleed out through the blades, kind of a red dancing lights in and out of it. The runes that were on the heft start to glow. It's very faint, though. It's not super bright.
I point that out to the group, see if anyone else notices it.
Do we?
Oh, yeah. It's hard to miss.
Did they do something to it, maybe?
I think it's this place, or maybe that weird woman that popped in and out there a few minutes ago.
As soon as Fezzik kind of speaks that, your droid companion kind of saunters over.
Sirs and madam, there appears to be a guest outside.
As you look through one of the portholes, you will see that blood-cloaked woman standing outside, just moving her body in a very kind of sensual way. She beckons you all to come outside, but kind of dancing in your heads, you hear a question. Confess what darkens your heart, what haunts your dreams, and what regret falters your step. And that's where we're going to end it tonight.